Have you ever wondered why every single fruit in a supermarket looks shiny and perfect? Do you really know what happens behind the scenes for you to have a perfectly shaped apple in your shopping bag? Let's go back in time. In the countryside, farmers all over Colombia take thorough care of their crops in order to deliver you the best products. They nurture and keep an eye on every single fruit and vegetable on the field. When it's time to harvest, those beautiful shiny perfect tomatoes and pears are collected. But wait a second. Are all of them born that perfect? Well, no. Just like humans grow in different sizes, colors, and shapes, so do fruits and vegetables. However, fruits and vegetables that don't meet beauty standards don't get to the supermarkets because people simply won't buy them. Therefore, they are discarded, or in the best case scenario, they are thrown into the compost bins to make fertilizer for new crops. When discarded fruits don't get an adequate treatment, bigger issues such as bacteria and pathogen growth in the field start to affect the crops. Even so, not meeting those beauty standards doesn't mean you're not as valuable as the rest, right? Well, Frutantes is all about embracing differences and uniqueness. Frutantes is a startup that rescues those fruits and vegetables that would otherwise be discarded in the crops. We work with farmers to deliver you weird-looking food that tastes delicious and has the same benefits as those shiny apples in the supermarket. Buying in Frutantes is an opportunity to appreciate the beauty in the oddness. We sell fruits and vegetables with non-conventional shapes, some bigger than others, some with unique colors, and some with little marks that reflect the pass of time. Considering the Sustainable Development Goals, we were very interested in the way our consumption and production habits have a negative impact in food waste. Particularly in Colombia, 4 million tons of fruits and vegetables are discarded only in the farming process. So we were determined to understand why and which were the main causes of this waste in order to reduce it. We went to Palo Quemao, one of the most iconic local farmers market in downtown Bogotá, where farmers, sellers, and consumers converge. When we visited, we could see how every certain time, big food waste carts were filled up with fruits and vegetables that weren't even rotten. After talking to farmers, we understood that in the countryside, almost 30% of the crops, which represent approximately 4 million tons of food waste annually in Colombia, are discarded because farmers already know they won't be able to sell them due to the aesthetic appearance. In Palo Quemao, we understood that buyers are really picky at the moment they buy their fruits and vegetables. Most of the fruits and vegetables that went to the compost facility were not even rotten. They were just ugly fruits with weird-looking appearances. As consumers, we expect fruits and vegetables to be exactly as we see them on TV. So if products aren't with perfect color, texture, and shape, we assume they aren't consumable or even healthy, when actually these fruits and vegetables have the same benefits as the perfect-looking ones. There are many myths surrounding imperfect fruits and vegetables. People often think that if the fruit has a tumor, then it may be related to hormone or genetically modified food that may be harmful for our health. Or maybe if it has a little spot, then the whole fruit turns inconsumable. However, most of the time these are just myths that influence our ways of consumption, and as a result, food waste just keeps on increasing. So when these products are discarded, both the environment and farmers are affected. Let's consider farmers and merchants first. When these products aren't sold, this means a loss in their incomes, taking into account their incomes are already very low. We want to be an alternative for them to sell these fruits and vegetables instead of throwing them away. We want to buy these fruits and vegetables at a lower price in order to create a new income for farmers that would otherwise be considered as a loss. Frutantes will sell them at a lower price compared to the other ones offered in the market for those perfect-looking products, offering equally nutritious and delicious food at a more accessible price. We want to take advantage of all the already established routes of distribution from the farms to the markets to include in these routes those products that are usually discarded in the field so we can sell them. However, we know it takes a lot more than just providing a place for farmers to sell their fruits, considering this is a cultural problem where we need to change the habits and perceptions regarding food consumption. Hence, Frutantes will not only be a marketplace for farmers to sell these ugly-looking fruits and vegetables at lower prices, but we are also committed to change the way people see these weird-looking foods. Through our communication channels, we want to debunk myths surrounding these foods with scientific facts. We want to share creative recipes that use fruits and vegetables in different ripeness stages. We want to show you different preservation techniques to make your food last longer. We want to make these fruits and vegetables something cool. We would partner with food influencers to normalize them and introduce them into our daily lives. We would partner with already established food marketplaces such as Rappi and Fruana to have a wider reach. We also wanted our project to take a step farther, and since we're talking about reducing food waste, we thought it was extremely important to offer solutions for our consumers to preserve their foods in their homes. As we know, part of the food waste is related to fruits and vegetables getting rotten very fast. To develop our packaging, we began our investigation by observing our closest context, our homes, and the practices we have to preserve our food. We realized that people had different routines and practices in order to make them last longer. Some kept their food in the fridge in containers, since it maintains their freshness and prevents rapid maturation. Others added wine or water to preserve it. They also wrap their products in newspaper or plastic to protect them from the environment. We found a variety of methods that sought to fulfill the same purpose, to slow down the rapid maturation of the produce. Taking these observations into account, we thought about developing a biopackaging that would both respond to people's routines and make food last longer than it already does in our kitchens. But we also wanted this biopackaging to be produced from the same food waste, taking into account that many of these fruits and vegetables still have many beneficial properties even when they are thrown away. So in this way, we could use the ones that are about to be discarded. So, analyzing the properties of different fruits that could help them last longer, we've developed a special packaging for our Frutantes made up of avocado, potato, and lemon. The acid, starch, and antioxidant properties of these ingredients make your food last longer by creating a physical barrier over the product's skin, preserving their freshness for a few more days. In this sense, our packaging helps slow down natural processes such as weight loss from dehydration, respiration rate, changing texture, and population of microorganisms over the product. Even if they are at an advanced ripeness stage or if they are pasmadas, they still have the properties needed for the packaging. In the materialization process, we knew we had to shape this packaging into something versatile that people could adapt their practices of conservation. That is why we developed our biopackaging in 3 forms. First, vacuum packing between 2 sheets of SCOBY infused with acid, antioxidants, and starch to simulate newspaper, plastic, and paper sheet practices people use to contain their food for it to last longer. Second, a plastic packaging to permeate the fruit with a special liquid vapor full with antioxidants and natural conservatives to simulate practices where people submerge food to preserve them for a longer time. And third, a bioplastic infused packaging with acid, antioxidants, and starch to simulate practices where people cover their food, isolating it from the environment to preserve it for a longer time. Although selling these fruits and vegetables at lower price rates would help low-income families to have access to nutritious foods, we also understand these competitive prices could have a negative impact on traditional merchants. That's why our biopackaging could be a solution to this potential negative impact, as we plan to buy our raw material from merchants that would otherwise consider these ingredients as a waste. In this sense, as lemon and avocado have one of the highest waste rates due to the pickiness of the consumer of these foods, we could give these products a second life, producing new materials as an alternative to plastic containers that benefit from the natural benefits of these fruits' biological composition. Additionally, taking into account the high rates of potato waste due to its overproduction, we could mitigate its waste by using its starch as the main ingredient in our special liquid to preserve food, meaning these potatoes would not go to waste and would become an additional source of income to traditional merchants and farmers. We want to be an agent of change in the way we consume food. Frutantes aims to tackle an environmental problem that is relevant in our local contexts as well as globally. We look to inspire other people to consume these unique and odd fruits and vegetables. If we unite, we can make these healthy foods that aren't as aesthetically pleasing as others more accessible to vulnerable communities that don't get the chance to have proper nutrition. We believe that Frutantes is a complete and strong business that seeks to generate impact not only in the lives of consumers, but also on the lives of farmers and the environment.